Boundless, I've come to bargain. Holy cow, I am so excited about something that we are going to be revealing today. I'm joined by Todd Owens. So Todd, wow, this guy's coming to Marvel Strike Force.
Yeah, and we're excited to bring Dormammu to the game. Get through Dark Dimension 5, and you will unlock this great new character that we've got.
And so I mean this is a grand prize, and this is a little bit of a departure from previous. We were talking about this. We've heard about it. Typically there was different versions. You waited an additional Dark Dimension to get a character. So we just had Doom, and now Dormammu's coming to the game, and there are a lot of things going on in this kit, and we're going to get to that at the end of the video here and kind of break it down. But wow, so what did you consider most when building Dormammu? Raids, arena, or war?
We were originally looking at Arena as our main test bed for Dormammu, but in making him really exciting and good and fun in Arena, that also will put him as a powerful character in War and also in Raids as well. Parts of his kit in particular will work really well in Raids. But Arena is where we were mostly playtesting him and checking him out, and where he will be a force to reckon with.
And so, it seems like he's going to be challenging metas for a while, and that comes to do with probably some of the things in the kit that you guys are probably trying to read over while we're going through this here quickly. And what were some of the specific challenges in designing such an iconic kit?
Well, and with a character like Dormammu, who's been in the comic books forever, who showed up in the MCU, even if briefly, there's so much that he can do. There's so much that he is in his stories and things. And so finding that perfect fit for what we need him to do in the game, what roles we want him to fill in the game, and what powers he actually has takes a lot of work, a lot of brainstorming, a lot of folks sitting around talking about, a lot of testing to see what works well. And so we finally came down to the kit that we've got. We feel like it really covers what makes Dormammu, and will be fun to play with.
Yeah, as a master of his dark dimension, I think we're definitely going to see something. So I'm gonna just we have the kid over here, and I know a lot of people just like to skip to the stats, and he is. This is without the ISO. He is incredibly powerful. We're looking at the damage, the health, the focus, resistance, and it looks like he's gonna shape up to be just one of those characters that fits into that top category in each one of those. In any what sets him apart from anything else we've experienced in Marvel Strike Force.
Well, the big thing that will set him apart is that, assuming that he starts a mission with a full team of fully healthy folks, every one of those people on his team gets a revive. So no matter who you find or who you bring with you, they're going to be getting to come back, no matter how hard they're hit in the beginning of the game. So that's a big changer. It allows a lot of theory crafting for characters both old and new.
And one of the things about this is I'm showcasing the fight versus Infinity Watch, and you can see just all of the different pieces of the kit which we're going to break down over here. First, I love how the flames of the Faultine look on him. I mean, the art department, he is probably one of, like, if I was going to say, like, well, who's your favorite villain that people forget about all the time, and it's Dormammu. Like, he's always kind of on the fringes of overtaking reality, right? And so the Flames of the Faultine, I've seen him in different video games. This is a very good animation for him, and super iconic here. And so we're already seeing that they're standing their ground against Infinity Watch, and this is that arena meta that we were talking about it, and I love the fact that we're actually showcasing this in the arena against the meta with a newer team that's kind of come to the game. But do you think that those are the only solutions, maybe?
I think if you take Dormammu, there will be lots of different solutions you could bring, because he's just a monster. He's got so much to his kit and so much that he can do. For all the years that I've been making games, players are always super inventive with different parts and pieces, and so I'm sure that once Dormammu's out and in the hands of the players, we'll see all sorts of new solutions that shake up the meta.
And one thing I'm going to say is he just looks fun from his animations. We can see how his animations just lend to that iconic, just larger than life images of him when he's doing his attacks. And so I feel like they captured a lot of that in this. And I by the way, I don't envy when you're building such an iconic kit, because you've got 3 abilities and a passive. And so it's that's got to be one of the harder elements of this, is to capture all the things that make a Marvel character unique.
That's true, but we've got a great team. I think you're right. Our art team and our integrators and animation team all did just an exceptional job with them. For the folks of us on the balance side working together with them, I think this is a character that we're all very proud of.
And what's interesting about this, if you guys are watching the footage, you guys are probably getting ahead of yourself and say, Rem, show me the kit. But I don't want to break down too much until we get into the nitty gritty over here. I just want you to take a look at some of these animations and just watch how even when these guys are on the ropes, Dormammu's still standing his ground. And you will see things like safeguard, and you'll see things like trauma being applied. And so that should give you a little hint as to what the true power of the Master of the Dark Dimension is bringing to the game. And so we'll definitely break that down in the kit, because there's definitely some things that I think people are going to want to try to understand better, and I hope we can do that, Todd, and you've given me a better understanding of it, so I appreciate that too. So yeah, they're almost done making short work of the of the current arena meta, and so that should give you an idea of how powerful this team will shape up to be. And the mystic departure from the arena meta that we have right now. And so again, I just want you guys to just take a look at some of the finishing animations as you see Dormammu do his specific moves here. You'll see that they definitely captured what you'd want to see from the dark dimension. It's funny because I'm that person who always liked the mindless ones, but I got to be honest with you, that doesn't sum up his power. That's just the minions he controls. And I think I got caught up in like, oh, I want to see no, this is fine, because those aren't his powers. Those guys are just they borrow power from him. So I'm a big Marvel geek, if you can't tell. Oh my God! I'm from the giant head to the flames of the fall teen. I'm a little bit of a fanboy here right now, and so this current arena meta just got completely wiped. You can see this Dread 1 ability. It's over. And so we're going to break down the kit a little bit here. And I kind of want to go through it because there's a lot of little details here. You can see that there was a quick revive on Dagger, and we're going to move right on. Obviously, you see the end of that fight there. So let's start with the passive, and you alluded to it earlier. And so we were talking about if the health is full at the start of the match. This is revive once. So that mechanic is something that we saw from, introduced first with Nobu, and then like Gamora and Nebula and Adam Warlock have that mechanic, right?
Yes, this is that same mechanic that we use for those folks. Ultron's revive once is the same, so it is something that we've had in the game for a while now. This is the first time we've had a character that we specifically call it out to the players as being a proc that's there.
Yeah, and so there's no icon for it, and people, I think, when you're interacting with that, you got to remember, you just got to keep track of who you've killed, because they're coming back. And so you gotta think about that. And I think that's kind of a fun mechanic. And so when we're looking at him, and it was funny because when I first saw the kit yesterday, I was like, support. Does that? Yes, it does, because a lot of his magical abilities kind of lend itself to that. And so on spawn, on turn, if this character has 2 or more allies with revive once, 3 or more allies with revive once, 4 or more allies, and this is the idea is the he keeps gaining these buffs as you whittle through his allies.
Yes. Yeah, that's it. He's that annoying character that when he's there, you need to keep track of exactly what's going on with him and with the rest of the team that he's fighting with, because as opposed to some other types of teams where you can find, okay, this is the critical character that I have to snipe out. Dormammu kind of negates that because he's going to bring everybody back at least one time.
Yeah, and I think that's really interesting in that regard. And so there's a charge mechanic, and we'll talk about that. And so pretty interesting because there's definitely some of the ways you think you might be able to beat him, you can't. And so that's that. I see this. So there's a charge mechanic, and so do you want to explain how that works? So yeah, on turn, if charged, flip all positive effects onto negative effects and apply 2 bleed to that enemy.
Yeah, so he has charge that he's starting out with, and then yeah, on his turn, he's going to go around and he's going to look for characters that have positives, and he's going to flip those and apply bleeds. So it kind of punishes the enemy team for having positive effects. You almost want to go in and try to keep those off you, because if it gets to his turn, he's going to punish you for it.
Yep. And so you got the basically when he drops below 50%, you have the safeguard ability. He's got the 50% max health, which is why we saw such large health in his roster image. He's got the 50% resistance for each mystic character, and that's on both sides of the field.
Yes. Yeah, for anybody that's on the battlefield.
That's incredible. And we talk about the stealth that he can have applied. We'll talk about that in a minute here. And so he has a 30% block chance. And then this is the big call out, I think, and probably one of the reasons why he just will probably mow over the arena meta, is he lowers the assist chance for all cosmic brawlers by 50%. Mm-hmm. And it's also increased while he's at full health.
Yeah, anytime you're counting on an assist from any cosmic brawler, say Nebula, then that's not going to happen.
Yeah, I think it was probably hard to figure that out. That striker skirmisher combo has been kind of fun. All right, so I think the idea behind it is let's go to the special, because that's where the charge kind of come from. So that's the opening ability, right? That's what you're going to want to do on turn 1. Is you're going to want to apply that stun and trauma. So we have another character comes in a game that applies trauma. So it seems like basically prevents them from removing negative effects. So that stun means that a character. Has this been asked yet? So if a character gets stunned and has trauma and has the ability to remove a stun on turn, but they can't remove it, can they?
No, that trauma will hold that stun in place for 2 full turns. So that character is basically locked down for 2 turns once he gets that stun and trauma.
Wow, that'll probably spell doom. Attack primary and adjacent targets for 300% damage, and then apply slow for 2 turns, heal block for 2 turns to all adjacent targets. And that's just where, like I said, a 3 charge, and this attack can't be blocked. So once he has that on enemy turn, he's going to be flipping those. On each turn, he's going to be flipping those buffs and applying bleed to every character that takes a turn. So what's interesting is that he works inside those windows where once the immunity starts falling off of the Infinity Watch. So he's definitely looks like he's really built to challenge the arena meta.
Yeah, right. When we were originally building him, our first and primary goal was to make sure that he shakes up the arena and really has a big impact there, that he's going to be something that players really want to take and play and theory craft with.
Yeah, and I can tell like he the kit kind of feels a little bit like Ultron in that regard, where you can definitely see how he's changing that with basically, instead of just being Ultron reviving, everybody does, and that's really and so the ultimate the Dark Rain and so this I thought was like a really powerful support ability, and so the negative effects and heal block, heal self and all allies, so he's going to heal after the heal block, and then we've already saw his amazing health. Attack primary target for 300% piercing. We've seen the effect that piercing's had on this. Apply offense down, defense down, and slow for 2 turns.
Yeah. And
then offense up, defense up, and speed up for 2 turns. And it is unavoidable and can't be blocked. So this is his I am going to erase the enemy. And we saw that in the Infinity Watch video. Holy cow.
Yeah, if you let him get this off, you will be very sorry. Or if you get to use it, you'll be very happy, depending on which side you're actually playing.
Yeah. And I think and I'm going to say this out loud. I really like the basic because it's one of those things where I feel like there's so many different reasons to use this, right? So tackle enemies for 360 damage plus 30% range. This is one of those iconic basics that you guys have been adding to the game where that basic has a unique ability. But that's not it, right?
No, the thing that I think players are really going to like is that if anybody tries to ability block him and he uses his basic, I mean, the basic still hits hard. It's good, but he's going to get speed bar for himself, like 80%. So he's going to basically get 2 turns if you try to ability to block him. So you kind of don't want to do that to him, even though, boy, it would be nice to block some of those abilities he has.
He's gonna keep doing what he does, regardless of ability block or not.
Right.
So you can't really ability block him. You really can't stun him unless you are talking about like the trauma effect. Maybe I don't know. I just throwing it out there. But trauma safeguard. He kind of takes the best of 2 of the legendary characters that have been introduced to the game and combines them into a massive force to be reckoned with. And so Dark Dimension 5. Wow, I can't wait. So this is Thursday. I'm sure you guys have some fun stuff on Friday. I know that this is we're building towards something big here. So anything else you want to add?
I just think he's a great character. I think the players are really going to enjoy him, getting to him, and just the amount of theory crafting that he allows you to have, the power that he brings to things, the way he shakes things up. I think he's well worth the chase to get to him.
And I think I really feel like that's I'm looking at this kit and I'm just it I saw the Infinity Watch footage, I saw the roster footage, and I am just I kind of want him. So I was like, I'm definitely I don't see an easy way to beat him except for mirror matches, which is kind of interesting. But I it's like I try to I try to deconstruct kits when I see them. And I looked at this kit and I was like, oh wow, this is like and it's not like an instant I win. It's like you gotta build and work towards it. But it's definitely especially with what Ultron did back when Ultron was introduced. I think this character is definitely gonna fit that mold. So yeah, I'm super excited. He'll be coming to bargain with you in the future here, and hopefully you find a way to acquire him soon enough to make a difference in your arena, or more importantly, maybe theory crafty ways around him. I don't think Sinister's going to clone him though. And there was one key thing I think about him that I don't think we talked about, was in his passive, right? And so he can't be revived.
Yeah, so he gives a revive to everybody else, but he himself won't revive.
Mm-hmm.
So that is a weakness. If you can get to him and take him out, then I recommend you do so.
All right. Well, thank you again. I appreciate it, Todd. I know that we've had a little technical difficulties, which is why suddenly your image isn't here. And we'll hope to see you again soon. We'll stay tuned.
All right. Thank you.
I appreciate it. All right, guys, remember, I do things so you don't have to. I am looking at this kit trying to find weaknesses. I already can tell you it's going to shake up the arena meta. There are no doubts in my mind. Talk to you soon.